All right.
And
we
live.
are live. We are live. Wait for this to kick in the full gear.
Excited to talk about stuff today.
Definitely.
Got some creative topics.
Definitely a lot of topics for sure. We're starting about 1 minute here. Let people pour in. Let people, their thing. People do their thing. Get into the stream. Yeah.
Lots of interesting stuff has happened recently.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I have to be creative on a few topics, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, dude, our idea is a Q&A for a video. Let us know if you got it. You should probably DM us on Instagram or something like that. For what questions they got.
Or you can just type it in chat. We got the live chat replay.
Yes, we do.
So definitely if you can't DM us, then definitely do that. Yep. Pin message. There we go. All right.
Getting going in about 5 seconds.
So
all right.
Yeah.
Sorry to get going.
All right, here we go.
All right. First topic for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Washington Commanders yesterday Dan Snyder sold the Washington Commanders organization for $6.04 billion.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of money.
To Josh Harris and
many others.
Magic Johnson is a stake owner. He's a notable stake owner.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, very interesting. I think the reason he did it is because the NFL, well, it goes back a long way. You know Colin Kaepernick, right? The dude who kneeled during the national anthem.
Mm-hmm.
And how he sued the NFL.
Yep.
And he got paid off, so the lawsuit never went anywhere.
Yep.
I think it's because of this exact reason why the NFL paid him off.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about it, the NFL didn't want their emails being read by the Washington Commanders and Dan Snyder.
Yep.
Because of how bad it would have looked for the NFL and how much money they would have lost. So this is definitely a great move for the NFL.
Well, also Dan Snyder did a lot of things.
Yes, very interesting.
John Gruden from the Raiders, is a great example.
Yes.
Of what happened
and
to those type of people. Yeah.
He also was getting sued by employees.
Yep.
Because he was overworking them, doing bad things to them.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
he's definitely in some deep water right now, and yeah, I'm actually excited to see what the Washington Commanders do. Because the first is Josh Harris gave 1,000 beers to fans who were excited about Dan Snyder not being an owner anymore.
Uh-huh.
And Magic Johnson today said that they're talking about that they're probably after the season going to change their name.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to what people think about what the name should be, what the name's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Washington Commanders are in the right. They're going in the right direction, getting likable people like Magic Johnson.
Yep.
Josh Harris, who won't be doing stuff that Dan Snyder was doing. And
definitely.
It's great for the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a win-win for everybody. Even Dan Snyder, who's pretty messed up dude.
Yeah.
He's walking away with $6.04 billion, and that's
his pocket. Yep.
That's a big profit on his investment. So
nothing
to complain there. So I think it's good for everybody. It's a win-win situation. I don't know if you want to talk any more about that, but those are my thoughts.
Yeah, definitely a great thing for the NFL. A lot of this sexual stuff is going on right now, and to get rid of somebody who, of course, mainly over the past couple of years has been talked about of what he's done to his employees. Now, of course, we don't know exactly what's been going on, but definitely a good thing to get rid of so that the NFL doesn't ruin their name.
Yep. And then next topic is Madden ratings. Just bad ratings are starting to come out. I'll start off with the ones that really make me upset. I know you have a few that really.
We got a lot, man. We got a lot.
So I'll start off with the one that I was talking about big time off camera. Myles Garrett is a 98 overall. Somehow he went down in overall because he missed one game, but his stats were better than the season that made him a 99.
Yes.
So that doesn't make a lot of sense. And Aaron Donald being a 99 for how many years in a row? 7, right? Yeah.
7.
And he missed 6 games and had 6 sacks.
Yes.
So he wasn't exactly much of a factor for the Rams.
Nope. Well, the Rams weren't really much anything last year, so
Yeah, I mean, and it just shows that Madden's just going off name recognition. Who's got a big name, and Aaron Donald's got a big name, so that's why he'll keep getting 99 overalls until he really starts slowing down.
And as a guy who just spent $100 on this game, and seeing these ratings,
About $100 in the game.
deluxe edition, I was very excited. There's a lot of deals to it, and of course a lot of math to it, and logic of why I spent the $100 instead of spending $120 for what I could have gotten for the $100. But
Yes.
anyways, there's a lot that went into it. But still, there's a lot of ratings. Of course, there's a lot of people that got their respect. Like Sauce Gardner after his amazing season, got a 93 overall.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, though,
Justin Jefferson getting a 99 overall.
just Jefferson getting a 99. Tyreek
well
Hill getting
deserved.
98.
Also well deserved.
There's a couple of them well deserved, but there was one guy who I think really got snubbed on that list.
Yep.
C.D. Lamb.
Yeah, not even top 10.
Not even a top 10 wide receiver. This guy is going to be carrying because usually you would think like the logic would be last season and what they could do this season,
Yes.
right? So C.D. Lamb should at least be a 90 then if he's the number one receiver as a Cowboy, and the Cowboys are pretty darn good big name in the
Yes.
NFL. So C.D. Lamb should at least be a 90.
That's the thing
and
that
of course
made-
Austin Eckler. We were talking about him off camera,
Can I go back to the CD Lamb
but
part?
yeah,
Because
C.D. Lamb. Yeah.
Amari Cooper got a 91 overall.
So
I'm not upset with his overall. I'm upset with his placement
Yes.
because CD Lamb is behind him, but
Also, Amon Ra. You want to talk about a guy who's up on the rise?
he's getting disrespect because he plays for Detroit, and
I mean, I'm trying to think of another guy who's crazily way better because there's a couple of guys that they named.
yes,
I do like Terry McLaurin though, getting a 90. What was it? A 93, I think. That was well deserved. But AJ Brown, a 91.
dude, 91 was crazy.
After what he did last season, he changed the Eagles.
He was way better than McLaurin too.
Yes.
He's the best receiver in the division.
like McLaurin deserves his respect, which he got. But
I don't-
AJ Brown's better than that. He should be
Yeah.
at least a 95.
I don't think McLaurin's top 2 best receiver in his division. I think he goes Brown, AJ Brown, CD Lamb, then McLaurin.
I got to see 11 through 20 though, because C.D. Lamb cannot be far behind Amari Cooper. Amon Ra should be at least in
He's an
87,
80
88.
He's an 87.
Okay, then that's respectable. But Amari Cooper getting a 91 consistently year in and year out is crazy to me. I
Yeah.
mean, you might as well put Brandon Cooks up there because of his consistency.
Because of his name.
And wait, Mike Evans? We're just gonna.
He had a little bit of a down year. But the
But he
Buccaneers
still
had
had 1,000 yards. Still did everything
consistent.
possible. I don't know. Amari Cooper is consistent, just like Brandon Cooks, Mike Evans, and a lot of other people, and their names are nowhere near top 10.
Yeah, a lot of issues with Madden.
A lot of
And
issues. Yeah.
Another issue I had with the Madden ratings was Jalen Hurts only got an 87 after being a quarterback of a Super Bowl, a team that was team for the runner-up for the Super Bowl, and
Behind Lamar Jackson
yes,
at 91,
And Lamar Jackson barely played. If we're to be completely honest with ourselves,
the last half of the season, he played, I think a third of it.
he
Wasn't.
He wasn't really there.
No, he wasn't really there.
Another thing, name recognition, former MVP, he
Yeah.
gets it. And Jalen Hurts he was a second year player, right? Jalen
Yes,
Hurts,
second year player. Yep.
And that doesn't make a lot of sense.
First year
to me.
starting. Yeah, and an 88 is a big leap for what he had last year, but still, I think he should at least be a 90.
I see no reason.
I mean,
why he
if
wouldn't.
he was one behind Lamar, then it make because they're kind of the same guy. They're kind of the same, but
Yeah.
it's just Lamar. I mean, he hasn't made it to a Super Bowl yet. I mean, and AJ Green or AJ Brown getting snubbed. There's a lot of bad. Austin
Jared
Eckler,
Goff, 89.
89.
He didn't even get a 90 overall after being a top 3 running back in the NFL.
Yes.
The only people you can make an argument for him being not as good as would be
Is
McCaffrey and
Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb. Yeah,
Which McCaffrey is that's very close. That's you could argue Austin
He
Eckler
goes
better
away.
than him. Yeah. But still he should be up there. I think he should at least be a 95 where Josh
Yeah,
Jacobs is.
he did not put up all those stats to make the Chargers a way better team. All for him to get a 89.
And what about Jonathan Taylor getting absolutely
80,
tanked?
87, right?
I think so, yeah.
87 or
87,
88.
88. He got absolutely
You're right.
tanked.
That was
I
horrible.
think he was like a 93, 94 last year. And he just, oof.
Just shows that Madden has no love for running backs.
And it just, I don't know, because, I mean, Aaron Donald, we go back to him. He didn't have an impressive year last year, but Jonathan Taylor has one bad year. Keep in mind, the year before that, he was stupid. He went crazy.
Yeah, no, best running back in the league.
Yeah, and then just completely fell off.
Just
I don't.
it doesn't make a lot. It does not make a lot of sense what goes through Madden ratings.
Also, we'll go one more here. Jamar Chase, 94.
I mean, he should be a 97 or 96 in my
Yes.
opinion. He did because he was the best wide receiver on the Bengals.
Yep.
And he's top 3 receiver in the league.
Yes,
And,
I'd say yeah.
so, and how is Cooper Kupp ahead of him after he didn't play for half the season?
Mm-hmm.
So that
If we're gonna
doesn't-
go off of that, like I
that
don't
doesn't
know.
see Madden just the thing that would make me like respect the Madden ratings a little bit more would be if they're consistent, but they're
Yes,
so inconsistent.
consistency.
They go off name recognition. It's terrible.
If there was consistency, if you were injured, you went down a lot, then it makes sense.
Mhm.
Or if you had a great year, then you would go up a lot because that's kind of the logic.
Yeah.
Because Sauce Gardner went from a rookie rating to a 93. So I don't know, but we got to get off that topic.
A lot of that
I'm gonna
didn't
go
go
forever.
I'm gonna get furious, dude.
I'm gonna go forever.
Yeah, our next topic is Shohei Ohtani. He is getting rumored for trades, getting close to the deadline.
Mhm.
I follow baseball a little bit more, so I think
Yep, you're gonna take the lead on
yeah.
this one.
I think there's 2 or 3 teams that are in consideration.
When's the trade deadline?
I believe ends in a week or 2. I'm
Oh,
not exactly
okay,
sure
so-
on that.
So this could
So
be
you got a little bit of
huge
time.
news in the next week or two.
Yeah, but as you guys know, baseball is no salary cap. You can give the player as much money as you want to get him to go to your team.
Mhm.
And Shohei Ohtani is going to be getting $400 million, I think, to 10 years.
Jeez,
So he's getting paid.
it's like a Mahomes contract,
Yeah, it's a crazy amount of money, about $40 million a year.
which he deserves it.
Yeah, because
After all he's done.
he pitches in the 90s and he pitches not high 90s and he pitches
I mean,
great. He pitches like a top 20 pitcher in the league,
and
and he's a top
on pace.
3 hitter in the league.
He could be. He's actually on pace for that
Yeah, no, he
home run record too.
'cause
So
I saw something where he was actually a better hitter than Aaron Judge was last year.
Yep.
He's the same amount of home runs, same amount of RBIs, but his average was better. On base percentage was better. So that right there he's on pace to be a better hitter than Aaron Judge was last year.
let me ask you a question.
Do I think
Do
will
you
I
think he will win the Triple Crown?
Triple Crown?
Joey Ohtani. Do you think he'll win the Triple Crown?
No,
No.
his average isn't there.
Yeah.
His average isn't going to get it. But
Okay.
he'll be the best. Well, he'll have the most RBIs and home runs.
Well, yeah. That's why I was saying like maybe his batting average is
His-
there, but
There's a dude, I think for the Marlins, or I saw the stat. He's at he's getting close to 400 batting average, which is absurd. That never happens. And the Triple Crown is such a rare thing that it's a very, very exclusive club. The last
Mhm.
player to ever do it is Miguel Cabrera in 2012.
Yep.
And then before that, it was Carl Yastrzemski from 1967.
Jeez.
So it was let me do my math here, 45 years until it happened again. So
Yeah. That's.
I think it'll be a long, long time until we see the Triple Crown happen again. So, but yeah, back to the teams that I think Ohtani would get traded to would be the New York Yankees, because they are willing to pay any amount of money to actually get a player.
Mhm.
And then the LA Dodgers, because they are in the same boat as the New York Yankees. They have a huge, huge ceiling in how much money they can pay.
Yep.
And I know you said off camera that you think the Orioles could get him because they're up and coming and all that.
Yeah. Like they should get him.
They're a bottom 5 budget, so they couldn't
Yeah.
afford him.
Yeah.
So
you kind of told me that off
So
camera.
if they hypothetically did make the trade for him, they wouldn't be able to pay Adley Rutschman, who's their up and coming second-year catcher,
Mhm.
true full first season, and Cedric Mullins they wouldn't be able to re-sign, their center fielder. So they would
Geez, so
they'd probably get worse
they
if they
would
got
tank.
Ohtani. Yeah,
They would tank after this.
because
year.
their owner's not willing to give up all the money to pay.
I just
So,
think if the Orioles got him, they would bring their team to a whole nother level.
Oh, for
Compete for
sure.
the World Series this year.
Yep.
Everything, but it sounds like in the long term it would absolutely kill them.
Yeah, and
So-
if it wouldn't work out, they would be a horrible team for a really long time.
It's just kind of like kind of like what Shohei Ohtani is right now.
Kind of like the Tigers, because they've been horrible for 7 years right now. So
Well, we don't spend much money either.
yeah, we're about a below average. We're a bottom we're
Yeah.
bottom 15 team that actually pays.
Yeah.
So we don't exactly give out the checkbooks except for Javi Baez, who hits for 200 batting average, and
Who's trash?
yeah, he's horrible. Not getting
You can
paid.
just say he's trash.
Yeah, no, he's not playing up to how much he's getting paid. But I don't want to get too much into that because I'll get pretty furious.
Yep.
Moving on to our next topic, running backs recently have been a hot topic.
You probably seen the picture of the kickers average and the
Yep.
running back average. Yep.
Yeah, 1.81 million for the running backs. For the kickers, it was like 2.6.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy. That's ridiculous.
you,
Not
you
gonna
also
lie.
have to consider all the backup running backs because there's like teams keep four running backs, only two of them really play, so the other two
Yeah.
have minimum contracts.
But
But
still,
nonetheless-
if you probably got rid of all of those, it wouldn't be. It'd probably be like around like 5 million, which it
Yeah,
should
4
be
or
a
5.
way bigger difference.
Because the running, honestly, at this point, you should just take away the running back position for how much you're not paying them because
Mhm.
you got Josh Jacobs. You got the Las Vegas Raiders not wanting Josh Jacobs for a long term deal.
Mhm.
Saquon Barkley and the Giants. The Giants don't want to give him a long term deal. So I think the running backs got to try to do something to get money long term because you got these quarterbacks getting really long term.
Which I don't know. I
contracts.
don't know how you would do that because again, like we've talked about in the past, the running back is a dying position.
Yes.
It's kind of like 3 years and then like people are moving on from you unless you're like a super.
And then they'll
duper
give you
stud.
a second contract, and after
Yeah.
that,
It's
tough.
rough. It's rough going from there. Like if you survive the second contract, you're
You're
gone.
good.
You're gone.
The only running backs that I can really think of off the top of my head that have really gotten to that second contract would be Derrick Henry,
McCaffrey's
McCaffrey,
gotten there.
After that, it's-
Eckler.
but his contract isn't a lot.
Yeah,
it's 5
not.
years, 27
That's
million,
true. That's true.
and for a player that plays at his level, that's not good.
I think somebody who could change that is like
Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
Yeah,
I think Nick Chubb if he gets paid. But then again, he's like his margin between guys that are like a little bit worse than him is kind of like growing.
yeah,
So if he even got paid, like people could still make the argument that they're
Mhm.
not good enough.
yeah,
So I think if Saquon or Josh Jacobs got paid, then it would open up the window. But
yeah.
who knows if they'll get paid?
It doesn't seem like these teams really want to pay him.
Yeah.
Pay any of them because
I mean, even like
Barkley's
the
gonna-
Lions, for example, they've literally shuffled through 3 running backs.
they gave away Swift after 3 years.
Yes, and of course, I mean Swift showed promise in Detroit. Kerryon Johnson,
But
Another one before.
he tore his ACL. I remember that.
yeah.
And
I mean, they were both
after 1 year, they just gave up on him.
they were both outstanding for what they showed in Detroit, and then
Yep.
just shoveled them out. And here we are, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, but I think Jahmyr Gibbs could be a little different because they can use him as a slot receiver.
Yes,
Unlike
So that-
Swift,
yeah,
how
that
he
could
was
change.
a liability at receiving.
Yeah.
He couldn't really catch very good.
Yeah.
As shown in his first game ever, he dropped a game-winning touchdown pass that ended up losing the Lions of the game.
I mean the Lions. That really didn't make a difference that year, but
Oh no,
still,
it still would have been nice to win the first game against
That's
the
true.
rival Bears. who
Yeah, that's true.
everybody like. Let's be honest. There's
I think
certain
weren't the Bears
fans,
very good that year too.
they made the playoffs.
Yeah, weren't they like 12-5? Yeah, with Cleo Mack.
Something like that. Yeah, and then but there's certain fan bases that in sports that you guys don't like, that people don't like. The Yankees, the Cowboys, Bears, the Lakers. A lot of people don't like Celtics.
Jeez.
Yeah, like I think the Bears are in that kind of a conversation just because of how annoying the fans are, and yeah, they definitely didn't let us forget any of that. So, but I think Robert Griffin was talking about somehow they can flip the narrative about running backs and get these guys the long term deals that they deserve. But it's going to take some doing by all the running backs, and yeah, I hope they get paid. I feel like they deserve it because
They deserve it. Yeah.
I mean it kind of sucks.
Yeah, because fantasy's kind of hard to do now because of that.
Because running backs don't really get the ball.
Yeah, they don't get the ball. I mean, it's kind of turning into a passing game, which is why wide receivers and quarterbacks
Quarterbacks
are
get
getting
paid
paid,
a lot. Yeah.
and that's why there's just a ton of wide receivers in fantasy, too. But yeah,
Moving on to our next topic, Austin Reeves. This came out recently that the Pistons were going to draft Austin Reeves in the second round in
Picked him up.
2019.
Yep, in place of Isaiah Livers.
Yep. And he said that he didn't want to get. He said he wouldn't play for him. So, yeah, I think.
Which is understandable because
The Pistons suck.
the Pistons were horrible, bro.
And
They
yeah,
would cut him off.
just thinking about it, how much better could the Pistons be if they got him? How different that could have changed the organization. Because if you think about it, if we get Austin Reeves, we probably don't get somebody down the line. Honestly, it could have helped us because we probably wouldn't have got Killian.
Probably.
Wouldn't have got Killian Hayes.
Yeah.
But
Actually, no. Was it the same draft?
no, it wasn't.
Livers.
It might have been. I don't know.
It might have been Cade's draft, so he's probably would still had Killian,
Yeah,
but like still.
I don't think it would have changed the team that much. But I think
No,
it
'cause,
actually
like just even if we just flipped like Austin Reeves for Livers, it wouldn't
Yeah.
be crazy.
So
I
I
guess
think-
we'd have a 6-man, a
So
solid 6-man.
I think by him
Okay.
doing that, that really helped out his career and benefited him a lot.
Yes,
Because now he's got a big role for the Lakers, and
he's getting paid.
he is now getting paid.
Yep.
If he did that for the Pistons, he's probably not going to get paid.
No, he'd probably be a free agent as of right
Yep.
now.
And he probably wouldn't be very noticed, so he'd probably
No.
not get that much money.
Yeah, it'd benefit him a lot.
So yeah,
Jeez.
another very controversial topic now that the Hall of Fame inductions are, coming up and people getting put in the Hall of Fame. Well, there's there's levels to it, and
Mhm.
People get put in. Baseball players get put in for Hall of Fame possible, like people who are eligible for it, and people who are put in like another tier. It's weird how to explain.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, my thing. So the topic is: should Barry Bonds be in the Hall of Fame? The only reason he's been left out of it for so long is because of his steroid use in the end of his career, where he broke the home runs in a season record by a lot. He hit 73. Yeah.
73?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
And
It's by like 10 nowadays, yeah. Because didn't Aaron Judge have 63 or 62?
yeah, no, he broke the Yankees record. It's like franchise record.
That's ridiculous.
So yeah, before that, so McGuire has 70. Barry Bonds has 73. Sammy Sosa's best was 66. Then now it's Aaron Judge, number 4, with
Yep.
62. And then before that, it was Roger Maris in 1961 is when he got 61
Jeez,
home runs.
1960s were a good time for baseball. Sounds like.
See, the thing that makes his way better than the 90s era's player and like now is the ball is so much more juiced up to hit home runs because it gets ratings up for baseball in the MLB. And he did it at a time where pitching was really great and the ball was dead, so it didn't get as much of a jump off the bat.
Mhm.
So he hit 61 legit home runs, and that's what's amazing about Roger Maris is his 61 home runs were all 61 legit home runs. So I mean, I think, but anyway, back to Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
I think he should be in the Hall of Fame, even though a lot of people think that he shouldn't. The reason I think Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame is in the 90s, in the era that he was hitting a lot of home runs.
Yeah.
Well, before he took the steroids, he was really still a really great hitter, hit for power, 30 home runs a season, great player. And then he started to fall off, but then he took steroids, just like Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa, all guys who haven't been in the Hall of Fame. I mean, sure, they shouldn't have taken steroids and all that, but it's also kind of the MLB's fault.
Yep.
They knew all this was happening. They knew Roger Clemens was taking steroids to revive his career, and I think that by the MLB looking away, that's also on them. So I feel like Barry Bonds shouldn't be. Of course, he shouldn't have done it, but I don't think he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because of that. Because he had a Hall of Fame career before he took steroids, and the MLB knew when he started taking steroids that everybody was taking steroids.
Mhm.
Everybody was doing things to be better, and they started livening up the ball. So I think Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame.
Mhm.
So you had any thoughts on that, or
No, I don't. Don't really,
Right.
don't really know the guy, to be honest.
Another very controversial Hall of Fame inductee. Should Pete Rose be in the Hall of Fame? He is the all-time leader in hits. Like, he has the record for hits in a career with 4,256, I believe, which is 100 ahead of Ty Cobb.
That's
Who's
ridiculous.
second? Yeah, crazy. That's insane.
100 is a huge gap.
Yep. And the reason he's not in it right now is because he gambled. He bet on his own games as a manager. That's
What, Pete Rose or
Pete Rose.
T-Cobb?
Pete Rose. Yeah, and I feel like that. I feel like he should be in the Hall of Fame as well. Even though as a manager, like what he did as a player shouldn't have affected what he did as a manager.
No,
And he was
because it's
great.
supposed to be player Hall of Fame,
Mhm.
and some coaches get put in,
Yeah.
just because they're legendary, but
Yeah, but
that shouldn't affect his as he would what he did as a player.
yeah, and he career 300 hitter, hit for power, probably the best Cincinnati Red by far. Even though there's Johnny Bench and the second baseman Joe Morgan, you know, even though they're really great, I think Pete Rose just clears it by far. You know what he did for the Reds and what he did for his 20-year career was insane, and it probably won't ever happen again.
Yep.
So I mean, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. You know, even though what he did as a coach was wrong, he'd still be in the Hall of Fame as a player. And I don't know why he's being held back for so long for that exact reason. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Makes sense.
also I gotta add something on the fly here.
Uh-huh.
Two records I don't think will ever be broken. This is kind of something that I want to talk about. The hitting streak. A hitting streak is by Joe DiMaggio. It's 54 games. I don't think that'll ever be broken again. And then,
54 games is crazy.
yeah, in a row with a hit. Yep. And then Cal Ripken, he has almost 3,000 games played in a row. And second closest is at like 1,000.
Wow.
That record won't get broken, but just because of how many people get rested nowadays. Like there's been several times where Cabrera or Trout have just been sat for the day, getting the day off. So I don't think that'll ever get broken. But
Well, it's just when players get old, it's kind of hard to play them
Yeah,
because they
this dude
become
played-
liabilities and stuff like that.
the only reason he missed the game was because it was for his daughter's birth.
Oh, well,
But yeah, when his daughter was getting, when
That's
his wife
crazy.
was pregnant. So
I mean, 3,000 games, though, just thinking about it,
yeah, almost 3,000 games is wild.
that's like, let's see, it's about like 18 years in a row
without missing a game.
without missing a game. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Honestly, he's the Iron Man of baseball. He's crazy.
Dude, you got to get that, like that alone probably got him into, is he in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, by far. But he was a
yeah.
career 300 hitter, and he was a great infielder. So
Dude, that's crazy. To do for 18 years in a row.
We should
that's,
clap.
yeah,
Clap.
that's definitely
not gonna get
deserves a
broken.
clap. Yeah,
Yep.
that's
And then-
ridiculous.
Another topic that just happened a day or 2 days ago: the Lions trade for Denzel Mims. I mean, there's not really much to talk about here, except for the fact that he's stone hands. To be honest with you, he doesn't really.
Yeah, he was straight trash on the Jets. Didn't do anything.
I don't really know why the Lions traded for him.
Second round pick. They got, I think, a 7th round pick with him, which
I think the only reason they traded for him is they like the ceiling he has,
yeah, he definitely
because he has a lot
because
of
he has length,
talent,
he has
but-
height
yeah.
as a wide receiver.
Like he's got the ideal wide receiver build, but
Yeah.
he's got to catch the ball.
Well, and also, I mean, bro didn't even play special teams for the Jets, which usually special teams is like it's made for people who like are like third string wide receivers.
third string, second
Which
string.
third string wide receiver? I mean, that means the dude was like 4th string wide receiver then.
Yeah.
I'd say probably couldn't tackle to save his life if he was on special teams.
Yeah.
I mean, that's bad. That's really bad.
Yep. Next topic is Melvin Gordon to the Ravens. He was he's a 2-time Pro Bowler and a Super Bowl champion as of recently.
Yeah,
The Kansas City Chiefs.
kinda.
But he got cut mid-year by the Broncos. He could even cut as a third string
Yep.
running back.
He was
That
straight trash.
just shows the issues that he had.
Straight trash.
And he didn't play for the Chiefs at all.
Nope.
And now he's on the Ravens. I think he's going to try to revive his career while J.K. Dobbins is.
J.K. Dobbins should be ready for the season.
Yeah, I think
Which
he's
don't sleep on him because he could come back as somebody who's crazy,
Yeah.
just like Brees
The
Hall.
only thing that worries people is his injuries.
Yeah,
His injury, honestly.
but like still, the Ravens still have like Gus Edwards and all of that.
Yeah.
So Melvin Gordon,
So
I don't,
I
don't
think he's
know,
just
man.
trying to find something to revive
Yeah.
his career, honestly.
or he's just trying to find somewhere like he could just
Sneak in.
sneak his way by and then get a Super Bowl, which is
Yeah.
kind of what he did with the Chiefs.
And he went to the Chiefs for a specific reason. Sit behind Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Isaiah
Pacheco.
Pacheco. Yeah,
I mean,
because
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is not even like a
he wasn't even
real
a starter.
role player anymore.
Yeah. So I mean, it's weird how just in general the running back position is. Because the year before that, Melvin Gordon was really good,
Yeah.
and then
I mean, even like
fell
you
off
look
like
back like
crazy.
3 years ago, You know, and he was kind of like
Yeah.
Chargers, and then where'd he go?
Broncos.
The Broncos. I mean, he was decent. He wasn't horrible, but like
Yeah.
he was okay.
2-time Pro Bowler, still good.
Yep.
Just shows how much the running back position is actually dying.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, he went for a long time as a Charger, but like still,
Yeah.
kind of just as soon as he left the team, he just died.
Yeah. Just moving on from the topic.
Yeah,
there's
just gonna move on.
Not a lot to talk about.
There's
there.
not a lot. Yeah, for sure.
The Little League World Series is coming up. You know, the annual Little League World
Yep.
Series where all the international teams around the world come in to play at Williamsport, Pennsylvania,
Mm-hmm.
and my thing about
Battle
it,
it out.
yeah. This is my question: should the Little League World Series be nationally, worldwide televised? Because these are 12-year-old kids at the end of the day,
Yeah,
and a lot of kids can peak really early. A lot of kids don't really get great until high school.
yeah.
Some kids get sprout up in college. Like it's so
I guess it's a way to get their name out there because you know how recruiting is nowadays. Like some kids literally start in like 6th grade, 7th grade.
yeah. A lot of
Getting
players,
their name out.
like a lot of the Little League World Series players in like 8th grade for America, they get
Yeah.
offered scholarships. Like there's a
Yeah.
Michigan commit in our class who played when I played baseball.
Mm-hmm.
He played on the Grosse Point Wood Shores team,
Mm-hmm.
which was the team that ended up going to the Williamsport Little League World Series.
Yep.
And he had like 4 home runs in the tournament. So he was an absolute master hitter.
Scholarship, right?
Yeah, he got a scholarship
Yeah.
in 8th grade to Michigan. Now he was committed to Michigan. So
Yeah. So that's. I mean, it's a way to just like recruit and get your name out there.
see, but here's the thing. That's also how you can ruin a kid's career. Because say the kid
That's
blows
true.
up on national television,
But it's like
And-
crazy off camera. You know, it's
and-
like
no, I'm not saying crazy. Like say he has a bag. This has happened many times.
yeah,
Players that are hyped up prospect. Like I don't even want to say prospects because these kids are 12 years old. But
yeah.
hyped up kid
Uh-huh.
goes in there, plays good in the tournament, then in a championship game or at a certain point they play like an international team.
Yep.
With all these kids and they get destroyed and then they start crying and they're on national television and he gets put on the news for crying and stuff like that. Like it's ruined career. It's ruined kids' lives because they got national televised at too young of an age and they couldn't handle it.
So do you think it should be televised?
See, there's 2 sides of the argument. And, I mean, I'm kind of torn, but I think it's also a cool experience for the kids to be on national television. So
I mean, that'd be sweet.
yeah, no,
That'd be sweet.
me personally, I think it should still be national televised. So
I mean, there's no problem with it. I mean,
there's kind of a problem, but
it's not.
I like the entertainment at this time of the year when
Yeah,
there's no sports going on, and it's
true.
kind of been Major League Baseball is super boring for me,
Yeah.
to be honest. It's kind of cool seeing these 12-year-old kids go out there and play 6-inning games. You see teams from like Japan, South Korea.
yeah. It's kind of like watching the Olympics, but like little league style. You
kind
know?
of. Yeah, kind of. It's like the World Baseball Championships, that happen every single year.
Yeah,
It's like that. Yeah. And you just see all these young talents. And some of them work out, some of them don't. Things happen. But the amount of training that some of these international teams do, like I saw Japan one time, their schedule when I was watching. So they start practice at 6 a.m. and they practice from 6 to 9. They have
Jeez.
breakfast. They practice from 10 to 1. Then they have lunch.
it's like Kobe. It's like Kobe's workout schedule.
And then they start back up at 2. They practice from 2 to 5.
3 workouts in one day.
Oh, there's more. Then they
There's
eat
more.
dinner. Oh no, they get like an hour break or something like that. And then from 6 to 9, they train more and more.
What?
And then they eat dinner, and they do that every single day to be great.
Really?
It's kind of sad to see because they overwork these kids, and it's
That's
really sad.
crazy. That's a crazy schedule.
It's literally some Kobe
Dude.
Bryant type. That's more than like a Kobe Bryant work schedule. work ethic.
That is how Kobe worked, though.
Bro, there's no
If
way
you've
he
seen
did
his work
5
ethic.
training sessions a day, dude, for 3 hours each.
Well, not 3 hours, but like he'd go 2 hours, like 30-minute hour break, like 2 hours. And then, I mean, Kobe was ridiculous.
Bro,
If you look up some
these
of
are
the stories,
12-year-old
like,
kids,
but
though.
those are 12-year-olds, yeah.
And they're
Like Kobe said, he didn't start doing that till he was like getting serious in the NBA and stuff. So, I mean, that's at 12 years old is crazy.
especially it's a little different. In baseball, you need to recover really good. In basketball, there's different aspects of training you can do.
That's true.
But if you're hitting for 3 hours a day and then fielding for three other hours and pitching for 3 other hours, it just doesn't. Yeah,
I mean,
there's no shock that all these
you're getting better.
there's no shocks that all these kids peak out. Like the only true Japan player I can think of that's still like that is really good is Shohei Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I mean, it's kind of tough to maintain that because these kids started earlier.
Imagine you worked like all of your life just like that,
Mhm.
and then you don't even come close to the major leagues.
And these kids start before they're 12-year-olds doing that. They started at like 10 years old to prepare them
Yeah, they
for when they
probably
are
did,
12.
Yeah, that's
It's really sad, honestly.
that's ridiculous.
I don't think teams should be doing that.
No.
Because, yeah, granted, Kobe did do that a lot, but he was a professional athlete when he was doing it. These kids are.
Yeah, he was like 18 years old doing
These kids
it.
haven't even hit puberty yet. So, like, they're,
Well, that was also his own self-motivation.
yeah,
Like these kids are being literally forced to do it
Yeah.
almost.
but pretty much, honestly.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's kind of sad. And then moving on to our next topic, it's Steph Curry winning the golf celebrity tournament. I mean, I'm sure you're very happy with this as you are a Warriors fan because of Steph Curry.
You know.
Truly a Steph Curry fan, not
Mhm.
really a Warriors fan. If I'm being completely honest with you.
Yeah, Warriors fan, it just kind of comes with it, you know, because Steph Curry's on the Warriors and all that.
Yeah,
But just like Russell Wilson, you know, people assume that I'm a Broncos fan because I'm a Russell Wilson fan.
yeah.
So
This is a really historical golf tournament though that he did. He hit a hole in one in this golf tournament.
then he hole out for eagle on the last hole to win it.
Mhm.
That's
I
legendary.
don't care how far away how far away your hole in one is. A hole in one is a hole in one.
Yes.
It's
Like even if it's like
crazy.
90 yards, like that's crazy.
Still the amount of control you need to place it,
Accuracy.
spin, all that jazz.
Yep.
It's not easy.
You just need the perfect bounce. I mean, the ball is like a third of the size of the cup, so like
Yeah, and
the odds of it happening is crazy.
a lot of people that play golf their entire life go their entire life without hitting a hole in one. So it's crazy that he did that in such a big tournament. So
Yes.
shout out to Steph Curry.
Yep.
Definitely. History is definitely made.
Uh-huh. And it was a celebrity tournament too, so
Yeah,
even better.
Moving on to our next topic. NHL GOAT debate. Who do we think is the greatest of all time for the NHL? I'll let you start.
So I don't know much about the NHL, but I have heard stuff about Wayne Gretzky. You know, he is a big name in the
Mhm.
NHL. You know, he was very very good for his time. So that's all. That's the only name I got to spit out. So Jack, you wanna?
So Trenton said something. He said, any thoughts on the sale of Washington Commanders and rumors of a rebrand and rename for the name? Sorry, Trenton, you kind of missed that part. That was our very first topic that we talked about approximately 30 minutes ago.
But that's okay. You know, you wanna?
Yeah, you can always just go back and watch it. But I think I can re-say it.
Yeah.
I said it was good for Washington fans
And of course, the NFL
getting
in
away
general.
from all those allegations.
Yeah.
Getting a guy like Magic Johnson who's a very likable dude. I mean, I think it's great for the NFL, and then
It's great for the Commanders to.
I'm excited to see what their name change is going to be.
Or Washington, I should say, because
Yeah.
you know they're going to change their name.
I'm excited to see what they change their name to because they've gone from the Redskins to the football team
To
the Commanders. So I mean, we'll see. But I like the move. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what's going to
definitely
happen.
W.
That's just a quick summary. If you want a full in depth of what we talked about after the stream, you can go rewind it and watch.
Yep.
Do you think the Oakland A's should do something similar and sell the team? I think the owner should sell the team because he is he's you know how I was talking about how like bottom five their
There's
salary and all that?
Orioles or
Yeah.
bottom five. Yep.
He is the worst at paying to his GM giving his GM money to pay players. That's why they always suck.
Well, yeah.
Like they draft good players and then they just trade them away for nothing.
Wait, are the Royals worse at
Royals?
this point? No,
A's.
A's
they-
are worse.
Royals are actually able to give money. They just nobody wants to go to Kansas City, honestly. So that's their issue. But you know,
I mean, if you're in Kansas City, you have the Chiefs, so you really don't. It doesn't matter.
I don't think that has to do with anything.
But like, if you live in a city and like, at least one of your teams is good, you'll have some confidence, you know. But let's just
I
go
don't
back,
really,
go back to
I
the
don't really
NHL.
understand what that was, but
Okay, that's fine.
we'll just
Just
right
move on.
past
Just
that,
move
but-
on.
countering your Wayne Gretzky. I think Mario Lemieux is the GOAT, honestly, because if you look at stats on stats, you know, I like to look at stats a bit. Mario Lemieux could score as much as Wayne Gretzky, if not could score more. And he passed way more, facilitated a lot better, all while playing on a way worse team. Wayne Gretzky has rings and he's played with great players. He had a good goalie on his team in an era where goalies were terrible. And if you had a good goalie, you would be a contending team no matter what.
Yep.
And I feel like it's unfair to Mario Lemieux because for a while he was on a terrible Pittsburgh Penguins team that was just horrible. No goalies, no help around him, so he had to do all of what happened by himself. Like I think in a game he scored 5 goals all by himself, and they lost 7-5. Like consistently, those would happen.
Yeah.
So his stats are better than his for the little time that he played. Like all-time stats, Wayne Gretzky has it, but here's the thing with Mario Lemieux: he had cancer. He got cancer, so he had to sit out for 3 years, and then he also had a back disease that affected his playing and skating and hockey. You need to have your entire body needs to be working properly.
Yes.
And he was still playing at a high level, even with recovering from cancer, taking 3 years off in his prime, and having back disease. Also, while smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day, so his lungs were a little messed up. So
yeah. So
I think Mario Lemieux is the best player of all time. Don't get me wrong. I think Gretzky's second, but I'll have to take Mario Lemieux.
Hey, at least I got the second best player. I don't really follow hockey historically.
Yeah.
So
Next up, this could get interesting. The NBA GOAT debate. Who
MJ.
do you say is the GOAT? You say MJ?
MJ.
All right.
100% MJ.
Yeah.
You gotta convince me wrong.
I don't want to like agree with you, but MJ is the GOAT in my opinion. But I think there's ways that you can counter with LeBron.
There's ways that you can counter, of course.
Yeah, I'll make an effort to counter, but I really think Michael Jordan's the best because he's a guard that had a defensive player of the year, which is really tough to do as a guard.
And I mean, just what he did offensively too.
Mm-hmm.
Like
he had to carry those Bulls early on in the year.
Just ridiculous.
When the East was really tough, and LeBron.
I mean, we were talking about that, like
off
the
camera.
the East that MJ played against, then the East that LeBron played against, because of course the East was his prime.
Yep.
The Lakers is kind of just LeBron dying, just like Jordan was with the Wizards.
Yeah, because when he was on the Cavs, there was no team, so he would make it to the finals every single year. And then when he was on the Heat, when he actually had great players around him with
he had D Wade, Chris Bosh,
Ray Allen
too. Yep, Ray Allen.
And then
switched over. Yep.
So
that was ridiculous.
The only team he really ever had to play against was the
Boston
Celtics, but that was only for a few years.
Yeah, because that team broke off to the Nets, and then they just died out.
And then Ray Allen went to the Celtics, but yeah, so really, LeBron hadn't had to play too much competition. So, but compared to Michael Jordan, when he had to play the Boston Celtics, who had 5 Hall of Fame players, all on one team, then the Pistons got really good.
The Lakers were insane.
So yeah, if they ever made it to the finals,
but if we're talking about the East, I mean, there was just a decent amount. Like, trying to think of anybody else in the East that was crazy. No, the Bucks. That was after Kareem's prime. Who else?
Cavs were pretty good. They had Mark Price.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, they were all right.
So yeah, they could have been all right.
But I think the Boston Celtics and the Pistons alone is a crazy thing.
Well, yeah, I mean the rivalry that's set.
Yeah,
like LeBron. I mean, when he went up against anybody, it wasn't really a rivalry.
But then when he'd go up against the stacked West, he would get destroyed in the play.
Yes,
in the championship series. So
I mean, there was one time when he beat San Antonio, but like it was one time.
I'm gonna talk about when he lost to
Dirk Nowitzki.
Yep. Literally just Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah,
there was nobody else
literally
on the team.
Dirk Nowitzki. I mean,
and then
the guy's a god.
The only thing that you could, like, I don't know. Okay, this is gonna be my argument for LeBron.
Well, let's hear it.
He has the most points of all time. It's tough, dude. I think Michael Jordan's better.
That's it.
I mean, most points of all time. 4 rings is still a lot, even though Michael Jordan is 6. How he invests himself to try to stay healthy every single year.
I guess you could say assists.
His longevity.
His assists. I think his assists is up there. He's like top. think he's top 10, top 5 of all time, just like assists, just
When-
because of his longevity. Of
When you
course.
play for 20 years, when you
Yeah,
play for 20
when you
years,
play
you
for
get a lot
20
of
years, it's
assists.
kind of easy. Yeah.
And I mean, he did take down the best team, in my opinion, of all time, the Golden State Warriors.
Hmm.
Because I don't care what you say, even though the Bulls did win when they went 72-10, or no,
Yeah.
when they went 72-10.
Or yeah, 72 and 10, 73 and 9 was the Warriors.
Yeah, it was the Warriors. I still think the Warriors were a better team on paper than the
Yeah, they were.
than the Bulls.
I mean, Steph, Clay,
Yep.
KD,
Mhm.
Draymond, Iggy in his prime.
Yeah,
You had Andrew Bogut, who was actually like good and
yeah,
functional.
So it was definitely it's definitely a good argument to make, but I'm gonna have to go with Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Michael Jordan. I just like when LeBron fans just start spitting off like how he's the all-time points leader. Like,
That's all. I heard a lot of people in
well, how long did Jordan play?
15 years
15 years.
compared
So
to
if you
LeBron's
gave
19 seasons that he's played.
if you
Or
gave
20, something like that.
he's going on 20.
Yeah.
But if you gave Jordan, let's just say however many years LeBron keeps playing, do you think he could beat the record?
Yeah, no. If you gave Jordan, because Jordan's points per game,
And with the defense,
the era that
Yes.
this defense is so bad in this era.
like even if you think of like how many points Kareem put up,
Mhm.
like that's even crazier. But to be honest,
That era of defense wasn't that tough, but like the era from the 80s and 90s was crazy in defense. Like, they were built around defense and not as much scoring. And Michael Jordan put up 30 points a game, and his all-time points per game average is higher than LeBron's by 2, I think, almost 2 points. So statistically thinking, if Michael Jordan didn't take 2 years off out of his prime to play baseball, so that'd be 17 seasons, and he played as long as LeBron's been play, I think he'd have a good amount more points than LeBron. And I think Michael Jordan is a better defensive player
easily.
because Michael Jordan as a guard, as I said, got a defensive player of the year, and LeBron has no defensive player of the year, so he's in a position to get a better. He has a better position to get a defensive player of the year, if that makes sense. Because the only other guys I can think about who get defensive player of the years would have been Gary Payton.
Yeah,
and
glove,
his whole game was built off defense.
Yeah.
And facilitating to Sean Kemp.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to take Michael Jordan's my goat. Moving on to our next.
We got a
Got a comment?
yeah.
Do you think? No, just
No.
said LeBron's hurt in his career and legacy the longer he continues to play. Yeah, I think that's kind of like what Tom Brady did. Because up until his very last year, Tom Brady was a top 5 quarterback every single year,
Yeah.
and then he just fell off because it's tough to play at 45 years old, however old he was.
No, he was 42. So yeah, he didn't get to 45.
No, he was like
No way
he was
he
like
did get to
44 or
45.
45 because he's
No way
you're
he
younger
did.
than my mom. He was born in 1977,
Really?
so he's like 45, 46.
Jeez.
Can we get owned to casual in the chat? No, I'm just kidding.
Let's see.
I swear that he's like 44 or 46 or 45. Anywhere from 44 to 46, I think. What do you think he is?
He's
45.
Jesus.
45.
August 3rd, 1970. So his birthday's coming up.
Birthday's coming up in roughly 12 days, something like that. I don't
Yeah.
know. But
We don't got to do the math right now.
yeah, I'm
We're
not doing all that. I'm not doing all that.
Nope.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be just like Tom Brady's. The more he
Wait,
plays.
is that another comment? Yes.
Do you think LeBron will be remembered more as Cav, Heat, or Laker when he retires? I'd say Cav.
A Cav, just because
His
when he went from the Heat to the Cavs and then won it again.
and he beat the best team of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'd say that he's gonna be remembered most for the Cavs because he got drafted by them,
Yeah.
won a championship with them, beat the best team of all time with them. I think he's gonna be a Cav.
It was just way more emotional when he was on the Cavs. You know, when he
Yeah.
went to the Heat with D Wade and Bosh, I mean, it was kind of like expected
Yeah,
to be.
and they honestly
At
they
that height.
probably should only got one ring because if Kawhi Leonard didn't get hurt, they probably beat the Heat.
Yeah, because the
In 2014.
Spurs were crazy.
Tim Duncan,
Then-
Tony Parker,
Manu Ginobili.
Ginobili.
And
Kawhi
Kawhi,
Leonard as
as a young player.
I believe he was in his second year.
Yeah.
So
Like
Yep.
Kawhi was young and he was hooping.
Kawhi was the reason Kawhi was such an X factor for that series was because he played defense on
Really
LeBron.
good defense.
And
Yes.
he held LeBron, who usually scored like 30 points, to 20. A 10-point difference is a lot.
Which is also why I think MJ's better, is because when LeBron really got pressed on defense,
Yep.
it was kind of like he went from a 30-point game score to like
Yep.
2015.
And
Whereas Jordan, it was like
Yeah,
whoever was guarding him, it didn't matter.
he still scored 30.
He
no
still
matter what.
scored 30.
Like he played against Gary Payton a lot, and he still put up numbers against Gary Payton, and then against Larry Bird.
Yep.
He put up 63 on him in that playoff game.
That's
a record for playoff for most playoff points in a game.
in a game, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
surprised that hasn't been broken.
I'm not. It's tough to put up.
I'm just,
that
like
points.
in the first, second round though. You know,
It's
with
his
like
game with
how much-
overtime, and he got like 10 more points in overtime.
Oh, I mean that could happen. I think in today's NBA, it should
should.
happen in the next 5 to 10 years, but who knows?
It's been around for almost 40 years. So 39, I think it is. But it happened in 1984. Or no, 1985.
Jeez,
So yeah, it's getting up there. But
should get there, should creep there. I feel like, but
moving on to
knows?
our next topic is Blake Corum. Should he have gone to the NFL last year, or should he have declared for the draft last year and been drafted and been a rookie going into his rookie season this year?
Yeah.
I'll start off with this because I talked about it off camera.
Yeah.
I think he made the right decision by not leaving because think about it, NIL is a very new thing and he's making a lot of money off NIL, and you got to think here, how many if you make it to your if you get past a second contract as a running back, you've done good. But I don't know if
That's true.
Corum's size can really get him more than two good contracts. So he's probably maximizing his NIL money that he can make and going to probably still get two contracts as an NFL running back.
Yeah.
And I think he's made the right decision. Also, he's helping out Donovan Edwards, saving his legs for the NFL because, you look at all these college running backs, they waste their legs a lot in college because they're using the power back. And then when they get to the NFL, they only last a certain amount of years. Like, Barry Sanders, right?
Yep.
Dog at Oklahoma State. He really only played 1 year at running back for full running back duties because he was behind Thurman Thomas.
Yep.
And he had his
talk
Heisman.
about that when it was his birthday last time. So.
Yeah. And
yeah.
I mean, I think that really helped him out because he saved his legs and he got to play for 9 quality years and he could have played for longer. And I mean, I think he would have maximized his running. He would have been the best by far. It wouldn't even be a debate if he got to play for 3 more years. Yeah. But he just didn't really, you could tell he didn't want to play.
Yeah. But I think Corum made the right decision. Now, of course, as Michigan fans, of course,
it's a little biased.
It's a little biased because Blake Corum coming back absolutely elevates us to the next level because now we have 2 top, arguably top 5 running backs in college football, which is ridiculous to have.
But as we stated earlier, the running back is a dying position, so he's just trying to maximize the most money he can get. So I think he's making the right decision.
Yeah, but definitely, he's also helping his cause for where he would have gotten drafted because, he was definitely I'd say a second round pick in this past year's draft.
The running back draft. The running back class is pretty decent
because Gibbs because Gibbs is a better NFL fit.
Who's the running back from Texas? I'm tripping right now.
Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson, yes.
And of course Bijan. They're both better running backs than him.
But this class is a little bit more opened up.
Yeah, and Corum would easily be the best running back in this class.
If he
still is.
Replicates what he did last year.
Yes, and plus more because he got injured.
He probably could have. Hear me out. He probably would have won the this year would have been his year to win the Heisman just because.
Straight up because his stats were ridiculous.
Bryce Young had a year. Max Duggan, I mean, he was good, but he had a.
It was kind of hard to beat Caleb Williams. And it's going to be hard to beat him again.
Think about it, though. There would have been an actual argument to be made against Caleb Williams just because of his Pac-12 championship game. And I think if Blake Corum played great at Ohio State,
and if he played
great in the Big Ten championship game against Purdue, there's an argument to be made there.
Yeah, definitely.
But, that's just another what if.
Yeah, that's
so.
But this year, hopefully he does it. Hopefully Michigan does something past the first round of the playoffs, and
hey, let's hope.
That's the hope. But college football, we're very hyped about that.
That's when we're trying to turn up.
Yep, definitely.
If you guys haven't, make sure to like the stream and go check out our other socials and all that. We've been posting a lot recently.
And of course,
we're on the grind.
There's a pinned comment. You should read it definitely. Put questions for our Q&A. You can put it in this chat right here, or you can DM us anywhere.
On Instagram
Instagram.
That's
You can
true.
message us through TikTok
Twitter.
if you even need to.
Twitter.
DM.
Yeah, a
nobody-
lot of options.
Yeah.
And we'd really want to make that a video because I feel like that'd be kind of exciting, a little different than what we've done.
Yeah, and of course you get to know us a little better.
Yeah, and so just us
Personally,
talking about
so-
sports and all
yeah.
that. So
Mhm.
I think that'd be kind of fun.
It
But,
would.
You know, moving on. Best Yankee of all time is another topic. Best New York Yankee. Definitely a lot of arguments to be made. Before I start listing off all the players, who do you think is the best New York Yankee of all time? Putting you on the spot right here.
Babe Ruth played for them, right?
Babe Ruth did play for the New York Yankees.
Okay. I was just making sure.
Just
So
making
I
sure.
didn't say like he didn't play for the Tigers or anything, and I just got absolutely crapped on. But
Okay.
I mean that's like the base name that I know as a Yankee.
All right, so you're gonna go with Babe Ruth.
I'll go with Babe Ruth. Just like Wayne Gretzky. Probably wrong. Probably wrong. Not gonna lie, but yeah. Let's say Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth. All right. See, I'm gonna go with Mickey Mantle. He had a career 298 batting average, and he hit 54 home runs in the season. So he hit for better average than Babe Ruth in his career, and he had slightly less home runs than Babe Ruth for like the most in the season.
So kind of the same thing as the Wayne Gretzky and who's the guy you said?
Mario Lemieux.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, there's a lot of arguments to be made because you got Roger Maris who hit 61 home runs in 1961 and broke Babe Ruth's record.
Yep.
You got Alex Rodriguez, who's a very respectable player. But his issue for me is that he played for the Texas Rangers a good amount, and he played for Seattle Mariners. So I think that's that could hold him back in the argument. But you could also make an argument for Derek Jeter because he has over 4,000 hits in his career. And he's in the exclusive 3,000 hit club of just 31 people, 31 players.
Yes.
And his fielding early on in his career was rough, but at the end of it, after his first few rough years as a Yankee, his fielding really stepped up and he was making very minimal errors. So I think you could also make an argument for that. But at the end of the day, you also got to bring up Lou Gehrig. If he's an absolute dog, hit for power, hit for average. I mean, there's a lot of arguments to be made, but I'm going to have to go with Mickey Mantle because, you had people so scared of him that they would pitch around him. And, he's just an absolute dog. They have songs written about him. He was the face of the New York Yankees franchise for so long. So I think I'm going to have to go with Mickey Mantle. But in the counter of your Babe Ruth take.
Yeah.
You know how he was people call him a two-way player because he could pitch, but, baseball back 100 plus years ago was not very good. No offense.
That's true.
He was throwing 80 miles an hour.
He just dominated 100 years ago. That's why his name still stands today. So
his average really wasn't that good. He hit for power, but he didn't really get on base that much. He didn't really hit for contact. He didn't hit for average. He hit just for power. And his pitching wasn't even really that good. He pitched 80 miles an hour, which is today's average is now like 96.
Yeah,
so he'd get killed in the modern era. But I think like a guy like Mickey Mantle could survive and play good in this modern day era.
Yeah.
But I don't think Babe Ruth would be a good baseball player in today's game. So I think
I don't even think he make the league.
the guy changed your mind.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, Mickey Mantle's my answer.
Mickey Mantle's my answer now too.
All right.
Be honest.
Also, we have some very great news. Deion Sanders. He's been struggling with his blood clots, his feet. He's had to remove some toes.
Yep.
Unfortunate. Don't want to wish that on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But his surgery this morning came out that it was very successful.
Yes.
His knee on his surgery on his right knee, which took out blood clots, was successful, and then his toe surgery this morning was also very successful. And let's clap it up for Deion Sanders.
Yep, definitely. That's
great
for him. It's great for him.
Prayers were up for him, and I'm very happy that things went well. So
we keep praying that he keeps going, and hopefully he revives Colorado.
And I also hope he's there for the first game against TCU. They're going to need him.
Yeah, definitely.
So just
TCU.
Shout out to Primetime.
TCU won't be as good as last year, but they're definitely a Big 12 team. They're pretty darn good. So they have their history of being good.
Yeah. So shout out Deion Sanders and happy all went well.
Yep.
All right. I've been trying to think about this since I wrote it down. Opinion on the greatest sports movie of all time.
Ooh.
Who do you want to go first? Me
Oh,
or
you're,
you?
you're putting me on the spot for this one.
Yep.
That's tough.
I know there's a lot of good options. You got Remember the Titans, Friday Night Lights, Moneyball. Really breaks down certain aspects. Like Friday Night Lights really breaks down, like high school football. How much pressure you have as a player in high school football in Texas.
Remember the Titans,
Very inspirational.
Yeah, a very, controversial movie. Just based on like what it's about and stuff. But
Yes.
there's a lot of, Adam Sandler, of course, has his fair share of movies.
Oh,
that
like
were sports,
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
And they all attack different things. Like Friday Night Lights and
Yeah.
Remember the Titans is more of a like serious drama based movie. Same with Moneyball, but then you have movies like Semi Pro with Will Ferrell
Or like Waterboy.
where they're like
with Adam
comedies.
Sandler. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I do really enjoy that movie every time it's on.
a good amount of those that I said were based on true stories. Like Friday Night Lights is based on a true story with like of course it's like Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's like changed a little bit, but it's based on a true story. I saw the comment. Yeah, but
Yeah.
Moneyball also based on a true story with the early 2000 Oakland Athletics.
Yep.
And Remember the Titans happened.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Moneyball because I really like how they break down the management for Oakland Athletics.
Even like Air Jordan, as a modern day movie. Like I know it wasn't like crazy, but like breaking down how Michael Jordan was actually like signed
Yep, to Nike
is actually crazy.
I mean, yeah, I think
like how big of a gamble it was.
Yeah, and
at the time.
I like how Moneyball really breaks down how money works in the big leagues. How it really explains how there's no salary cap, but you can only spend how much the owner gives you. And the owner for the Oakland Athletics is he wants to make as much money as possible, and he's really cheap. So he didn't give Billy Beane much to work with, and it really breaks down how Billy Beane revived the Oakland A's halfway through the season, made them a World Series contending team, even though they lost in the National League Finals. I don't know what they actually call it in baseball, but yeah.
The NL. I think they just call it NL.
NL, they call it NL something.
NL, probably championship, because I guess
it's the NL championship.
Like for NBA, they call it like
Eastern Conference Finals, yeah.
Like Eastern Conference, Western Conference Finals. So I guess you could probably say National League Finals, something like that. What's that count right there?
Think about the Rocky and Creed films.
Oh.
Dude, honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, dude.
I don't know, brother. It's a wide variety.
People don't really think of it much as a sport. Like it doesn't really.
But like at the same time, though, boxing is a sport.
Yes,
it's pretty out there.
But is that movie based off the sport, or is it based off how a dude, gets an upbringing, falls, gets up down?
I guess Rocky's based on the sport pretty much. Kind of like a U.S. guy facing like one of the biggest guys in the world.
You've never watched how much have you watched the Rocky movies?
I think I've. The one in Socialize that they
the one in Rocky 4? Yeah.
I've seen that one, and I think I've seen Rocky 3.
So you haven't seen 1, 2, and 5?
I don't think so, no.
See, so I mean, how could you really say that a Rocky movie is the best sport movie of all time?
That's what I'm saying. But I don't know. It's a wide variety of movies. I don't know. It depends, kind of what you're going for, what you're looking for in movies. What your taste is.
Yeah, if you're going for a drama or a serious one.
Yeah.
But it depends on what you're really going for.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you're trying to get motivated, definitely Rocky.
Yeah, Rocky or Creed, even Creed 3.
I've never seen a Creed movie, to be honest with you.
Creed 3?
Never seen any Creed.
You didn't see Creed 3?
Not a single Creed.
Oh, boy. Adonis Creed.
It just feels like all spin-offs of what happened for, the Rocky movie. I mean. I feel like it's just going to be a dumbed-down version of Rocky.
Kind of. No, I think it was better than Rocky.
No way, it's better than Rocky, dude.
In my opinion, I didn't see all the Rockies, so I don't get a say. But Creed 3, Creed 3 was ridiculous, bro. Just I don't know, just the stuff that happened, the storyline, it was.
I just think that if you haven't seen the really Rocky, if you've barely seen any of the Rocky
Dude,
movies,
it's kind of like an in between. You've seen all the Rocky movies. I've seen all the Creed movies. Now
so,
it's kind of like an in between. We don't really get an opinion.
like, how can you really
On the other
say that
side?
one movie's better if like it's just
That's
kind of a
true.
spin-off of what really started the Creed? Because
I
Creed
don't know.
started based off what happened in Rocky.
You'd have to see the Creed series, or I'd have to see the Rocky series in order to fully determine that. But
Yeah, but I feel like Rocky just attacks all different areas.
about the film,
What about the film?
about Mike.
I can't read that part. That's Mike.
Can you see it on there?
Nope. Cannot.
Mike O'Hare.
O'Hare?
O'Hare.
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 Skip.
What's the movie called? What's the movie called? How about
It's The Blind Side. That's what
Blind
it is.
Side?
Michael Orr. Yeah, he played football at Ole Miss and played for
The
the
Blind
Ravens.
Side,
Yeah, that's what
okay.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's good, but
Oh, that one.
I mean,
I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
it's all right. I mean, I liked it, but it's not a top tier in my opinion. It doesn't
No.
compete with Remember the Titans or Friday Night Lights or Moneyball.
Yeah,
Dude, it doesn't even really compete with Rocky or Creed, if I'm being completely honest with you.
no.
I've never seen Creed, but it's a good movie. It does serves its purpose.
Yes.
So yeah. All right. So we're moving on to the best player at every position of all time in the NBA.
Basically, make your starting five, right?
Yes. I'll start off first.
Oh.
You got at the one. You got Steph Wardell Curry. Revolutionized the game with the three ball. He's really, enhanced the scoring.
Yep.
Scoring's happened more now because people are shooting the three ball way more often just because of him.
Yep.
How crazy he shoots. Like he can shoot from almost half court
With
and make it with ease. It's
Yep.
crazy. It's like he's programmed to do it.
Yeah.
And then, people like Damian Lillard have followed in his footsteps. And, they've really revolutionized the game. But Steph Curry is the one who's really started it. And then at the two, shooting guard, I'm going to go Michael Jordan, GOAT, best of all time.
Yep. You got to have him there for defense and stuff
Yep.
like that. Yep.
At the three, you got LeBron James, second best player of all time, best
Mhm.
small forward of all time. At the four, I got Tim Duncan.
Mm.
I think he's probably the most underrated player of all time. People don't even have him in their top 10. He's a four-time champion, loyal, played for the Spurs his entire career. And, he's a very fundamental player. Scored, played defense, did all the right things. And that's why people don't like him. Or they just disrespect him because he wasn't like
He was not going. He wasn't like that guy that put himself out there.
he wasn't like a Shaq that
Yeah,
was
that's kinda
super
just
dominant.
That's
Yeah.
he kind of just did what every average player does, but like put it to the next level.
He did
Got
everything really good.
championships.
He was an all-around great player.
Yeah.
So that's what I liked about him.
Mhm.
And at the center, I'm going to go with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Second most points of all time.
Ooh, that's a surprise there.
I'm not going with Shaq.
You're not going with Shaq?
Nope. Kareem could actually shoot his free throws. Kareem could hit free throws. They
true.
couldn't just foul Kareem to put him at the free throw line. He would make free throws.
That's true.
And his revolutionary play or shot, the sky hook.
Yep.
Because he really revolutionized the game. In college, they had to make a rule that he couldn't dunk.
Yep.
Because he could just dunk the ball really good.
No, that was Will Chamberlain with the backboard thing where you just throw it off the backboard and then he just dunked it.
No, I'm not talking about the free throw where you can throw it off the backboard and dunk it. Like he couldn't. They made a rule that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar could not dunk the ball because he was too tall.
Oh.
So he had to develop the skill.
Oh,
of
you're
shooting
talking
the
about
sky
that.
hook.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he
Okay.
got really good at that. And
I thought you were
the only
referring
person
to
to ever
the free
block Kareem's sky hook is Will Chamberlain. He did it once. Other than that, the ball never got touched. It was a very effective shot.
I should probably add that to my game. Come on. The little sky hook.
Yeah, you got to become 7'3" to be able to do that one though.
But still, I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna go with Kareem.
it'd be effective for sure. But
So I think Kareem, there's nobody can ever stop his sky hook except for Will Chamberlain once. So it was pretty much just an island type shot. Like he was
That's
on his
true.
own island.
yeah,
You couldn't exactly really contest the shot.
nope, you really couldn't. You
So
really couldn't.
It was just based on if he was gonna make the shot or gonna miss it.
Mm-hmm.
And his defense was great. So I'm gonna go with Kareem at 5. That's my starting lineup.
This is tough.
I'll be back in a second.
This is tough, but think I'm gonna go. Let's think. I think I'm gonna go Steph at the 1. I think Steph has just changed the game forever. 3-point shooting, you name it, he's done it. He's broken the 3-point record he's gonna break it by a mile, and he's still going. So give him that. Shooting guard MJ, of course, he's the GOAT, greatest of all time. Gives guard defense. Since we're making a lineup, Steph, it would make up for Steph's defense just because of how good he is. At the 3, definitely LeBron, one of the most dominant players of all time, alongside MJ as well in this lineup is ridiculous. So give me LeBron. I'm definitely going to take Tim Duncan at the 4. Very underrated player indeed. He can win. And most of these players that are on the squad are winners. And they do the stuff to win.
They all have over 4 rings.
Yep, and Tim Duncan, he does what's possible to win. He does what he's got to do. And then at center, I'm going to go Shaq, just because he was flat out the most dominant player of all time at the center position. Nobody could stop him on the offensive glass.
All right.
Stop him on the
1
defensive
second. I
glass.
gotta call it this casual. Jack Wall at XG athlete 23. Starting center Kareem, I respect that, but Dr. J at the power forward is crazy. He's 6'7", and all he could really do was dunk.
Oh, he's getting killed by Tim Duncan. I'll tell you that right
Oh, yeah,
now.
no, he's getting destroyed.
He's
Then
getting killed.
Magic Johnson at the 3. I mean, I don't really see. I mean,
Oh my God,
you can make that argument.
He used his first name at the 3.
That's wild. Then Jordan at the 2. Yeah, that's good. But then Elgin Baylor at the 1. I mean, I respect Elgin Baylor, great player, but
Yes.
he would get tortured by Steph Curry.
Yes.
I feel like Steph Curry wouldn't be able to guard Elgin Baylor just because he has more size on him.
But then again,
But then, I mean, Magic Johnson would get killed by LeBron. And like,
yes.
what? I mean, he wouldn't get killed.
Yeah.
But LeBron would definitely have his number on him. But then,
I don't know. We did talk about when he got pressed on defense by a
Yeah.
pretty good defender.
I feel like it'd be pretty
folds.
even, but I think LeBron would have the
I just think his athleticism would just kick
yeah,
in.
kick in. And then Dr. J at the 4, he'd get destroyed by Tim
Yes. 6'7" compared to what? I think Tim Duncan's like almost 7 foot.
Duncan. 6'10", 6'11".
Yeah, so he get killed
I mean,
for sure. And Shaq and Kareem, that I actually
I think-
want to see that.
Dude,
That'd be interesting. 'cause,
Kareem could score on Shaq every single time, just because Shaq wouldn't be able to stop his skyhook. But
yeah,
you could also say the same thing for Shaq. Shaq would back
Yeah.
down Kareem, and that's the tough thing about it.
yeah.
But
Shaq was just
I personally think Kareem's a better player of all time.
so dominant, dude.
And
I don't
the
know.
thing that I think puts Kareem ahead of Shaq is, he could shoot free throws.
Yeah, I mean, even you could argue Akeem Olajuwon too, just because of his hustle, his defense.
Yeah, I haven't.
I guess if I had to counter Kareem, I'd throw Akeem at Kareem, just because his blocking, like his vertical jump is
Yeah.
better than Shaq's. So yeah, or even like Will Chamberlain, just because he blocked it
And
once.
here's the thing with Hakeem, though. Hakeem's longevity is so much better than everybody else, though.
Yes.
For him being 7'2"
Yeah.
and playing for 20 years, it's crazy.
Yes.
And him winning 6 rings, that's more than Hakeem and Will combined. And then if you put Hakeem and Shaq combined, that's as many as Kareem has.
Yeah.
So he has more rings than all of them by a good amount. And,
But what about Bill Russell?
I mean, granted, he won a lot, but he
13 rings is crazy.
was 11.
Or 11. God, I don't know why. I don't know. Every
Sure.
time I think of him, he's
Casual.
13. I don't know why.
Can we get casuals in the chat?
But 11. It's close enough.
He's a great player of all time.
And then we got a hey guys, how are you?
TH.
We are fantastic today.
Doing great.
Yeah, definitely.
It's always a great day when you get to work on the podcast.
Yes.
Get to talk sports. That's just the dream right there.
Yeah, no, welcome to the stream.
Hey, also,
For sure.
everybody who hasn't liked the stream yet, make sure to like the stream.
Yep, like
Check
the
out all our
stream.
socials. So,
Uh-huh.
yeah, honestly,
Definitely.
it's a great day whenever you get to just talk sports, and excited to be doing this.
Yep.
But yeah, I think, in my opinion, Kareem's the best center of all time.
Yeah, I mean honestly I think you could interchange them.
I still
I'm
gonna
being
go with
honest.
Kareem.
But you can go Kareem. I'll go with Shaq. It's fine. It's
agree
fine.
to disagree, but no.
I was a little surprised when you threw Kareem out there. I really thought that you were going to choose Shaq
No,
for some reason.
I really do love Shaq as a player. He's a great player, dominant, but they had to make a rule change for Kareem. And Kareem has the most dominant move of all time. If we're gonna be, like, he is top 5 most dominant moves.
I guess I could throw out there that they changed the backboards, they changed the rims, they changed everything for Shaq. The entire basket
Yeah,
for Shaq
he broke baskets, but
because he broke
at the end of the
broke like
day-
5.
at the end of the day, though, how many points is a dunk breaking the backboard compared breaking the backboard and breaking the rim and all that? How many points is that?
That's 2.
And how many points do you get for making a sky hook?
That's 2.
Yep. So, granted, it's cool to break backboards, but get the
Dude,
same
if
amount,
Shaq-
get the same amount
I'm
of
just
points.
saying, if Shaq had a jump shot, imagine that.
Yeah,
Imagine
But he
that. But like, what if, like what if?
best player of all time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, they'd be like,
That super team beat the Space Jam starting 5 in a series. Ooh.
well, yes, because Michael Jordan single-handedly beat them. So yeah, easy,
yeah,
honestly.
that's true.
I haven't seen the new Space Jam. From me completely honest, I heard it was just a ripoff. Like,
It was
terrible.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad. Nothing compared to the first one. Nothing compared to the first
Nothing.
one. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And if they try to make, like, I have a feeling they've been trying to make another one. Who would they make it with?
They'd try to make it with Victor
Yep, I
Wembanyama
was gonna say
or
that.
Steph Curry or something like that.
Because Steph would be crazy. Like,
Because he could shoot.
half court shot, man. But like,
I mean, I don't know why. If they make a third one, honestly, that'd be just a complete money grab by Looney Tunes.
that's true.
And that'd be horrible.
That would be, yeah.
Terrible, dude.
Warner Bros. Would be
They literally
making
just-
cash.
From what I've heard, they just literally copied the original Space Jam and made a few tweaks, but put LeBron as the player this
Yes.
time. So
And changed up
like the people that get powers
People,
taken
yeah.
away. So I think they had
Like
Dane.
Dane.
Yeah.
Clay. I think they had some WNBA player in there. Stuff like that. So
Yeah, but I mean it's interesting, honestly.
interesting.
Yeah.
Way. Just fun.
Going on to our last topic that just happened roughly 2 hours ago. Bryce Young signs a 4-year, $37.9 million deal with the Carolina Panthers for his rookie contract.
Mhm.
So almost $10 million a year. That's pretty good.
It's pretty solid for rookie QB.
Hey man, I'm happy he's getting his bag up.
Yeah, definitely. He deserves it because he's going to be carrying that Panther squad.
And they've needed a quarterback for a while now.
Yes.
Ever since they lost Cam Newton.
And honestly, I think that's the cheapest QB they've. No, actually, Sam Darnold was cheap. But like, anyways, he's gonna.
They tried reviving Sam
He's
Darnold's
gonna-
career and that didn't work.
God, the Panthers are one of those teams that just went through a cycle for the past 3 years, and I finally realized I think we should draft a QB.
Because
And,
they
try.
they cut Cam Newton.
Yep. Because Cam Newton got washed.
Then they had that Kyle Allen. That's who they had. And then they got Sam Darnold,
Baker Mayfield.
then Baker Mayfield. And then they got that dude from the XFL. I forgot his name.
PJ Walker.
PJ Walker.
Jesus.
PJ Walker got hurt.
Yep.
So they started Baker Mayfield. He sucked. They started Sam Darnold. He sucked. They started PJ Walker.
No, I think Sam Darnold got hurt. And then they were like, PJ Walker.
Yeah,
And they pulled up PJ Walker from the XFL
and
team.
he had one good game, then he sucked. Then he got hurt. So then it
His
went-
one good game, though, like it wasn't even that good. I think he had like 250 passing yards, like a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, he got the job done. But then they put Baker Mayfield in for the rest of the game. And then rest of the season. Then he got traded to the Rams.
Yep.
And they went with Sam Darnold for the rest of the year.
And now here we
Such a
are with
rough
Bryce
season.
Young.
So-
Colts did the same thing, though. Colts do not get to escape this at all.
Phillip Rivers, then Carson Wentz, then Matt Ryan.
You're forgetting Nick Foles.
Oh, they did throw Nick Foles in there for just a little bit, Just a
after
little bit.
after his Super Bowl stint, they were like, "That's our guy."
We're
That's
trying to
our
do a
guy.
big contract. And then he got
Trash.
that thing.
Straight trash. Straight trash. And then they tried the other Eagles guy. That was decent for a year.
Carson
And
Wentz. Well, Carson Wentz had a few good years. He just got hurt, and then he never.
yeah.
He was on like an MVP, like a top 5 quarterback season.
I'd say top
and then
10.
he got hurt.
Yeah, but
Okay, top 10 is disrespectful, bro. Dude,
Dude, the way that Carson Wentz
he was
was
top
playing, I
five.
don't
He was
know.
top 5 for the Eagles in the season that they won the Super Bowl, and then he got
Yeah.
hurt in like week 13.
Yeah.
And then he just never played. He's never been the same since.
That's true. Yeah, definitely.
I'm wishing all well for Bryce Young.
Yeah, definitely needs to perform. And Anthony Richardson as well for the Colts. I think he's gonna have a big year, but that's just me.
I think he's gonna need a year to
Need a year to
the
get used to
NFL,
it.
'cause he's a raw talent. If you're really looking at it. He played 13 college games,
Yeah.
something like that. Very low, but I mean,
Yeah.
it could be a good thing because he can get developed for a year.
Because he's kind of not like on that college mind. He's kind of that like
Yeah.
open mind, fresh.
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of shrank a little bit,
Just a little bit.
Yep.
I'm hoping all's well for Bryce Young. Those are all the topics I have.
All the topics you have. Yep.
We're gonna go to that one thing we were talking about. The one segment that we were talking about off camera. Start
Mm,
bank,
it's
start
the
bench cut.
Start bench cut. If you guys got one in the chat, go ahead and throw one out there. But we'll just find some random one and do it live,
Right.
I guess. So
All right.
here we go. Start bench cut. Ooh.
What?
Ooh. All right.
So start bench cut. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and Cooper Kupp.
Mm,
This is gonna be my order.
All right.
Justin Jefferson, start. We're cutting. No, we're trading.
Trading.
No, I mean we're benching Jamar Chase.
I was gonna say we're
Yeah, no,
trade. That'd be a lot of assets.
And then we're cutting Cooper Kupp.
Mm,
I like them all. They're all great receivers, but
yes.
Justin Jefferson, best receiver in the league. You can't trade him. I mean, you can't cut him or bench him.
I just think Cooper Cup's kind of at a disadvantage here, just because of his
Down year, not his down year, but he got
and
hurt.
how old he is as well.
Yeah, and
Compared
then
to these two, I mean,
Just-
these two are on the straight uphill.
Justin Jefferson's going into his 3rd season.
I believe so. Yep.
Jamar
Jamar
Chase
Chase.
going into his
No, this got to be Jamar Chase's third.
yes,
You
Jamar
think?
Chase's 3rd season, and then Justin Jefferson's 4th.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, because he got drafted in 2020. Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
so
was same year as Burrow. That
Mhm.
COVID year,
yeah,
and they had like that online draft.
Yep.
That was weird, but that was a time in the NFL, time
yeah,
in the
very,
NBA.
very interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'm not gonna lie.
Alright.
Cooper Cup, he kind of just had that 1 year. In fantasy, it'd be a little closer. Because Cooper Cup is just in a PPR league is just a consistent like 20 points per game, like scorer. In
I'd still
fantasy.
start Justin Jefferson if I had to be honest with you, because
Yeah,
he was so
yeah, start-
consistent. He had like
yeah,
2
start
bad
him,
games.
yeah, but like Cooper Cup in fantasy, it'd be a
debate
little
for,
closer.
Yeah, for Jamar Chase. Yeah.
Yeah, but like if we're talking like on my NFL team, I was the GM. I'd say start Jay Jettas, bench Jamar Chase, and then I'd unfortunately cut Cooper Cup.
All right. I think
But
that's it.
yeah, that's it for the stream.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody who did.
Everybody who did,
Yeah.
make sure to like the stream on your way out. If you haven't already,
I mean,
and
it's been a lot of fun.
yep, definitely a lot of fun.
yeah,
And the All American Valley Boys, we are signing out. See you guys later.